I'm Nuresan from nmaistro AI. In this video, we are exploring Agentic Contract review from inbox to risk map with nmaistro. You will see how nmaistro takes a contract directly from your email inbox, analyzes it end-to-end, and translates legal risk into a clear, management-ready risk map. nmaistro is an executive orchestrator. It's designed for work that spans legal analysis, risk assessment, decision-making, and executive communication where context, prioritization, and structure matter as much as accuracy. Instead of manually reviewing contracts, extracting risk, and preparing board-level summaries, you define the objective, and nmaistro coordinates everything in between. In this scenario, the situation is familiar. An email arrives in my inbox, there is a contract draft attached. Before negotiations begin, the management team asks for clarity. They want to understand where the risks are, what the company's position looks like, and which clauses require strategic attention. Specifically, they ask for a structured contract analysis, a risk matrix suitable for management review, and a clear artifact that supports negotiation strategy. Normally, this means days of review, annotation, and reformatting. Here is start 1 instruction. We begin by giving nmaistro a simple directive. Connect to the Microsoft 365 MCP and search my inbox for an email received on December 22 from Alisefa that refers to a draft franchise agreement. Analyze the retrieved franchise agreement for me from the perspective of the franchisee and produce a clear structured legal risk analysis artifact. Identify the agreement structure and commercial logic, define and apply explicit risk categories: legal, financial, operational, termination, IP, liability, discretion imbalance, and change risk. And assess each risk by referencing relevant clauses, explaining why it matters to the franchisee and evaluating severity and likelihood. Extract franchisee contractual obligation and clearly map how each obligation can trigger specific legal or commercial risk and consequences. Present the output as a single, visually friendly artifact including an executive risk summary, a risk heat map, a core obligation table, and contains practical insights written in professional, plain English and optimized to demonstrate analytical depth, usability, and clarity. nmaistro first creates a comprehensive to-do list for the task, then scans in inbox, filters the relevant correspondence, and securely retrieves the correct contract documents. Once the contract is identified, nmaistro begins the legal analysis. The contract is broken down clause by clause. nmaistro examines obligation and liabilities, risk allocation mechanisms, termination, indemnity, and limitation clauses. Ambiguities and negotiation-sensitive provisions. This is not keyword extraction. It's contextual legal reasoning. Next, nmaistro moves from analysis to evaluation. Each identified risk is linked to the relevant contract clause, assessed based on the legal commercial impact, classified by severity and negotiations priority. Low risk, manageable exposure is separated from high impact, board-level risk. And also, a risk heat map, severity by likelihood matrix, is provided as a table. The artifact is generated. On screen, we see a structured risk assessment dashboard, risk group by category, severity and impact clearly marked, clause references embedded, suggested negotiation focus areas highlighted. What was once a long contract is now a clear, navigable risk landscape. The output is ready to be shared with management, used as a negotiation briefing, referenced throughout the deal process. No manual summaries, no disconnected notes, just a clear, structured risk artifact. Now we use the analysis and artifact to respond to the original email request. We write our next prompt as, using the completed risk assessment and the published dashboard, compile a clear and concise summary of the key findings and prepare a professional email response addresses to Alisefa. The email should briefly explain the overall risk profile, highlight the most critical risk and obligation identified, and remain business-focused and non-technical. Send the email to Alisefa via Microsoft 365 and appends the publish dashboard link at the end of the email for full visibility into a detailed analysis. nmaistro prepare a professional email response and present a ready-to-send email body, including the dynamic artifact created for this agreement. That is the full flow, from inbox to contract analysis to the management-ready risk map. This is Agentic Contract review with nmaistro. In the next videos, we will explore more use cases and show how nmaistro scales across legal, compliance, and executive workflows. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.